Pause everything for the Saber Roar. I'm Zach.
And I'm Danny. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. It's now time for Jokes with Danny, our newest segment on the...
No, Danny. It's not time for Jokes with Danny. This isn't a late-night talk show. It's time for news stories. In addition to the new block schedule that we have at Franklin High School, we also have some new teachers. Someone that was once a Franklin High School student has come back to teach.
There's a new face around school, but what many students don't know is that Ms. Gak has actually already been here.
It feels weird sometimes to be back here where I went to school as well. Sometimes I find myself walking to my own locker, but overall it's been nice.
Ms. Gak attended UW-Eau Claire, where she received her teaching license in 2009.
I wanted to help students be able to write better, to read better, so that they would be successful in whatever they chose to do.
I like Ms. Gak as a teacher because she incorporates activities into our 86-minute blocks that are new this year.
Ms. Gak involves students in active learning strategies along with group activities for a fun learning environment. This is Alex reporting for the Saber Roar.
New additions to the staff are not the only changes here at Franklin. Franklin is known for their talented athletes, from the football team to the cross-country team. They all need to get a good workout to play their best. Here's Sierra with the story.
Franklin High School had Christmas early this year with the arrival of new weight equipment.
This summer, our athletic department made a nice chunk of money, and they wanted to get some equipment that would kind of affect everybody. They asked the kids that were in there what would, what kind of things we needed in the weight room that would be new and help out.
The weight room now offers a wide variety of equipment and sizes of weight to fulfill the needs of each athlete.
Actually, our old weights, they've been missing chunks of rubber, and we weighed one of our 65 pounds on one of our scales, and it actually came out to 58 pounds.
Our old ones were really bad, and they just didn't fulfill the needs for big weightlifters like me here at Franklin.
Now that we are able to get a good, accurate workout, Franklin's athletes will be stronger and ready to perform.
I know I'm going to be pumping some serious iron, just like Franklin's own Miss Badgerette probably had to do.
Yeah, I don't think she had to pump iron, Danny. Each summer, the Franklin Pomp Squad travels to Chicago to compete at the Midwest competition. Members of the team have the opportunity to compete a solo routine to fight for the title of Miss Badgerette. This year, the winner came from Franklin.
After school, Franklin's multi-purpose room is filled with hardworking Pom girls. Among them is team captain Kayla Hendry, who is Miss Badgerette of 2010. Miss Badgerette is awarded to the top soloist in the Midwest competition.
My solo this year was a really upbeat dance, and it was just a really fun dance to shake your groove thing.
Kayla practices for over 15 hours each week preparing for competition.
In competing a solo, you're judged on showmanship, technique, your personality, and appearance.
With her team all there to cheer her on, being named Miss Badgerette was a great start to her senior year on Poms.
It was a really big accomplishment since I've been working for this since I was little, and I just was really happy to win.
This is Ann reporting for the Saber Roar.
Well, Kayla made a name for herself in the Midwest. The cross-country team also made a name for themselves this season, competing in a nationwide event.
The cross-country team traveled to Minnesota late September to compete in the Roy Griek Invite. The Roy Griek Invite is the biggest high school competition in the country. The guys had an impressive performance, finishing in the top half of all the teams there, with the girls performing great, finishing 6th out of 42 teams, with our state champ Allie winning the whole thing, finishing 1st out of 400 girls. As a freshman, once again, amazing the crowd.
Hey, Zach, you know how they keep track of time for runners?
You mean with, like, a clock? Oh, I get it. You're trying to introduce our new news story about digital clocks.
Well, I was going to say with a stopwatch, but I guess that works too. The digital clocks help students get to class on time, but not all students feel that the clocks are beneficial to them.
With the addition of the digital clocks last year, it's easier for students to get to class on time, but the clocks aren't always reliable.
At the beginning of the year, our digital countdown clocks were not working because there is a master clock that governs all of those. They're actually controlled by radio signal. the master clock that is kept back in the custodial area, and that one went on the fritz about second week in August.
Although they don't always work, the clocks are there to get students to class on time, but some students don't think they're beneficial.
I think the clocks were a waste of money because half the time they don't even work, and the other half they count down the wrong times, so it's kind of a waste.
I think the clocks are very beneficial. They really help me figure out when I need to get to class so I can be in time, but they don't work all the time. So when they're not working, I have a really hard time figuring out when the bell will ring and if I'm going to be late or not.
When people ask you for the time, you no longer need to tell them to get a watch. Just tell them to look up at the digital clocks. This is Callie reporting for the Saber Roar.
Well, that's all the time we have. Get it, Zach? Because we just
I get it, Danny. Thank you for tuning in this week to the Saber Roar. I'm Zach.
And I'm Danny. Stay gorgeous, Farm Franklin.